On behalf of the Gulf Times, I would like to welcome you again to Diplomatic Dialogues, a space where we celebrate how cultural diversity builds not only stronger people, but stronger nations. Today we have the honor to have His Excellency Guillermo Ordorica. He is the ambassador of Mexico to the state of Qatar. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time. You arrived a little bit before the World Cup. Mexico being one of the countries with the most people and the most ambience here in Qatar, how was your experience as an ambassador of Mexico during the World Cup, during FIFA 2022?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity of this interview. Yeah, it's true that I arrived just a couple of weeks before the World Cup, and for me it was an amazing beginning, because I was not just coming to a new country, which is Qatar, which, by the way, when I just came down from the plane, I was surprised for the quality of the infrastructure, the lights, the amazing infrastructure they have in this country. But on the other hand, coming to be the ambassador of Mexico in such an important event as the World Cup was a great opportunity for me for serving my country at a time in which we had a huge challenge in taking care of over 80,000 Mexican fans that came from Mexico for cheering our national team.
You would invite Mexican families to come and live here and work here in Qatar?
I would invite Mexican families to come and do whatever they want in here. Of course, it's going to be their choice if they want to live or not in here, but this is an amazing country in which you have all sorts of amenities. It's a modern country. It's a country in which there's culture, there's art, there's sports, there's gastronomy, there's tourism. And by the way, the Qatari people are so nice, and they are really very good people and friends of the world.
Now, you mentioned something, sports, and here there is a very big interest specifically in sports diplomacy. But we have heard and we know that you yourself have competed in national and international competitions representing Mexico. Could you tell us a bit more about your sports history?
Well, yeah, this is a long time ago. I still a cyclist, and I was national champion in 1976 in road and forerunner in track. Yeah, I represent my country in international competitions, and for me, I still dreaming about those times in which I had the honor of having the national colors of my country in my own personal uniforms.
And here in Qatar, you have been able to continue doing that, right?
Totally, yes. It's part of my essence. The ambassador of Mexico, Guillermo Ordorica, without the bicycle is incomplete. So the bicycle is part of myself. So I have a lot of friends in here, which I go with them, and I enjoy very much the Olympic track, which is the longest track in the world in a back and forth track, almost 70 kilometers, and I enjoy going there frequently, almost 4 or 5 times a week.
It's in Lusail, right?
Yeah, it's in Lusail.
Amazing. Yeah. Being sports such a main important diplomatic value, let's say, in Qatar, how has been your experience during the international events here in Qatar?
Well, I have to say that Qatar has really deployed an amazing ability to host events of world quality, not just the World Cup, which of course was the most emblematic, but also Formula One, tennis, track and field, swimming, diving, so many other sports in which Qatar has proved the world that they have the capacity, the ability, the infrastructure, and especially the will for hosting these kind of events in such a way that they really do it amazingly. They are great.
Now, speaking about diplomacy itself, you were recently in the annual meeting of ambassadors and consuls in Mexico. Could you tell us a bit more about what topics did you touch there, and how do you see the relationship between Qatar and Mexico for the near future?
Thank you very much. Every year at the beginning of the year, we, the ambassadors of Mexico and consuls of Mexico all around the world, we meet in Mexico City in order to know the new directions of the foreign policy and receive instructions from the highest level, even from the president of my country, which, by the way, for the first time is a woman, and we are very happy about that, and having Dr. Claudia Sheinbaum as the first woman president of Mexico and the first North American woman's president. So, well, we talk about current challenges for Mexico in the world, how to address them, We talk about the current situation in Mexico, current local politics, national politics, and we interview ourselves with different actors from public, private, and social and the social sectors.
Now, speaking about cultural diplomacy, the relationship between Mexico and Qatar has been very distinctive. Both countries always being very strong partners. For example, in 2023, you had the Mexican Culture Week in collaboration with the Ministry of Culture, which is the first time it has ever been made by a Latin American country here in Qatar. But there is a surprise coming, so could you tell us a bit more about this cultural surprise we can expect?
Sure. This year we are commemorating the 50th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relations of Mexico and Qatar. It's a very important commemoration, it's a very important event. Throughout the year, we will be presenting different venues, different initiatives from the embassy, and I'm certain that Qatar will also make its own effort to do the same in Mexico. So this is going to be a very active year in which we will present the best of Mexico as a host, the same as Qatar, of great international events. Mexico as a great destination for tourism, gastronomy, archaeological and historical tourism, adventure tourism, urban tourism or city tourism. So we are going to show all what makes us so proud regarding our culture. So yeah, this is going to be something nice.
Speaking about tourism specifically, for the people that are eager to visit Mexico, which would be considered as a must visit in Mexico?
Well, it depends very much what you want. And most visited in terms of the number of people traveling to Mexico specifically is the so-called Riviera Maya, which is in the coast of Yucatan and Quintana Roo, the states of Quintana Roo facing the Caribbean, Cancun and Playa del Carmen. But that doesn't mean that it's the only place to be. It depends very much. If you like adventure tourism, there's tons of things. You will not believe it, but in Mexico we have deserts, we have hot weather, we have cold weather, we have snow, we have sea, we have rainforests, we have everything. You can go mountain biking, you can go walking, you can go doing whatever you want. If you want to have high-level tourism, you can go and enjoy the best restaurants, the best hotels, the best places in amazing cities as Mexico, Guadalajara, Monterrey, whatever. If you like sports, you can also go visit Mexico because we offer one of the best destinations for sports. If you want gastronomy, well, Mexico, you know, it's known for its food and its variety of its food. And our food has been classified by UNESCO as non-tangible world heritage. So it depends very much on the person. So it depends what you want, and then I will let you know what's my opinion, what to visit.
If you ask me, I think Mexican is the best food in the world, but I think that would be cheating. Speaking about tourism, but in Qatar, what would be an advice to someone to visit here in Qatar?
Well, Qatar is an amazing country. Even though it's a small country in terms of size, it offers a lot. You have great places just to see magnificent sunsets, such as Corniche, which is a beautiful place to be. But you can also go to something more traditional in which you can see the old traditions for buy and selling at Souk Waqif. You can go and look at the amazing sports infrastructure that was developed for the World Cup and visit those stadiums in which the architecture is so amazingly unique. You will find amazing places to visit. And of course, the infrastructure of the city, educational city, the great museums that you have in this country, they're really great. The National Library of Qatar, those are places in which you really can have a very special experience.
Ambassador, going more personal, could you please let us know about your diplomatic career and the countries that you have been, because we know that you have been in a lot of places.
Yes, it is true. Well, I'm getting old, I guess, because I'm over 45 years since I first began working as a diplomat. I have had the privilege of serving very closely to a foreign secretary herself, Rosario Green. She was some way my teacher. I've been consul of Mexico in 3 different locations in the United States, 2 of them in the border, one of the other ones in the northern part of the United States. I was posted as a political counselor to the Embassy of Mexico to the Holy See, in which I had the chance of talking about the diplomacy that the Holy See deploys around the world for fostering peace and understanding. I was also director of La Maison du Mexique in Paris for some years ago. It's a very nice cultural institution, and I was the director at the University of Paris. I was ambassador of Mexico to Romania. In Mexico, I was in charge of the Matias Romero Institute in the diplomatic area. So yeah, I really have had a lot of chances to work in diplomatic affairs.
Before we do our last question, I will ask a question and you can answer with one or two words. The first thing that pops in your mind, okay?
Okay.
What is your favorite place to spend an afternoon in Qatar?
La Corriche.
Favorite place to spend an afternoon in Mexico?
A park in downtown Mexico City.
Favorite writer?
Juan Rulfo.
Favorite Qatari dish?
Oh,
Favorite Mexican dish?
chiles en nogada.
Printed newspaper or digital newspaper?
Both. I prefer printed.
Karak or Gahwa?
Cadec.
Favorite Mexican artist?
I would say Maria Felix.
And favorite type of coffee?
Flat white.
Viva Mexico!
Viva México y viva Qatar.
Perfect. And the last question. There are a lot of young diplomats that see your career and see what you have done all these decades and they admire you. So what would be the advice of all these young people that are watching right now?
Well, first of all, as a young person, I would suggest to young people to continue dreaming and go for your dreams. They need to go for the dreams. They need to do whatever possible to achieve whatever they have established as the goal in their lives. Continue being good citizens, good children at home, continue being good students, and really do their best to improve the way in which today we live in this world, which really needs to be addressed in such a way that we can inherit something better for the future generations.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time.
And you're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us and see you soon.